Here I am to court a woman my parents like. My mother gave birth to network. The world is made by women. We owe them everything, and they receive nothing. When a boy reaches 18, his parents should head for the cemetery, their job being done. The mortuary, our past, our future, and our compost. What can't the dead give us? All too much and never enough. Hooray for the still nourishing old generation. We grow with your assistance. Wait, who's that? Ah! Not so funny.
Why are you so childish, Janus?
If it means anything to you, I took very little joy out of that.
Your lack of joy does not increase mine, foolish boy.
I remember when I was younger finding a frightened person so funny, and now, odd what gets boring with age.
What are you doing here? Did you break in to see me? Are you obsessed with me? Have you fallen in love with me?
In love, it is only after the fall that you see the cliff.
Is that a yes?
I'm basically a bloody corpse. Or, who knows?
But if it's that other girl, she's no good. She's not worth your time. But self-advocating is never to be believed, is it? I'm prattling on, and my prattle must be as boring for others as another's is for me.
I like your prattle. Please prattle.
I don't know what to say when asked to speak. The writer has left his post, just when I needed him most. You talk.
I was just thinking the other day about why I relate more to tragedy than to comedy in old writings. It must be that tragedy keeps better, whereas comedy changes from generation to generation. And now I'm thinking that I live with less pain than I could have, and more pleasure than I should have. Have you thought about the joy that would burst open if the empire fell and all peoples lived without dominance?
Not really.
Yeah, but that would never happen. Empires change rulers, peoples, rhetoric, but they don't ever go away. As long as one person knows that it's easier to sit idle than to work, there will be empire. As long as we feel happiness at winning and sorrow at losing, there will be domination. To ban hate and aggression is about as easy and useful as banning love.
I'm gonna head out. It was nice seeing you, but I'm going.
Talk of expelling hate, and you show your rejection of humanity. Oh, she's gone. Rambling has its dangers. Wooing is a task like any other. Men are valued for what they can do, women for what they are, and I can do very little. I could offer to die for her. What else is there to die for? When we cannot sacrifice ourselves to a movement, we sit and listen to the stories of others who choose to hold a cause closer than their lives, and in death, deserve remembrance. We all deserve to die, and even if we don't, we will. Enough of this.
Nice to see your single-facing face.
Melina, this is an odd way to meet.
Not very inventive, I agree. The director of this show isn't very creative.
A bit of a dunce, I suppose.
Sometimes.
So what should we...
Oh God, don't ask me what to talk about. Just decide for the both of us.
Okay. I was arguing with this idiot about reputation. He said, one must uphold one's reputation at all costs. I agreed, but pointed out that we evaluate reputation horizontally instead of vertically across time. We only care what is said right now, and not what will be said in the future. But why do I suffer fools? I must try harder to ignore them, for my own sanity. What do you think?
Well, I think you should argue with those who can be swayed, and it's only natural to care about the voices you can hear, rather than those to come or gone by.
Yes. I was also thinking about how mimetic love is, how much we copy and find our destinations by simply following others. All someone would need to do is break out of that race and they could have an easier path. But simply knowing a truth or a concept doesn't mean one can enact it. Now I'm a rambler. I'm spilling my inner monologue all over myself.
You are a rambler.
My words are made by a fool. I'm an honest idiot, and so are you. I mean, all humans are idiots. And so are you by extension, because you're human. Melina? This was to be expected. The seeking male thwarted. How much of our tradition and literature shows and tries to curb the actions of the horny patriarch? A lot. Does it succeed? No. If Jupiter could just have sex with his wife instead of every young lady that passes by, he would have a much more stable, if more boring, kingdom. Religion and tradition fight against their biggest rival, the orgasm.
What?
Ah! What the fuck, Melina? Trying to stop my heart?
Something like that.
I suppose fear and excitement feel the same.
You were both afraid and excited by me?
Yes. May we continue with our walk? Virgil or Ovid?
Ovid.
An excellent choice. He's more entertaining and his stories are more ambiguous. Jupiter is shown to be a real man god with oversized power and destructive desires.
I sometimes feel bad for Jupiter. He must have never been in love with Juno.
Why do you say that?
Love is a snare that captures and excludes all others. And Juno was not that for Jove. He was not in love with her.
1 for 1 to 2 for 2, a gentle kiss I pursue.
Happiness, freedom, purpose, trapped in half a bottle. Raise high your cup of crush and fill those cheeks with blush. It is not honor and duty that draws us together. It is lust. More than we want to admit, it is lust. And even as men come to women, they walk away. Only societal decrees make us stay. Rant drunk Janus. I look at my world and see a fake, a show put on for me, an unconvincing simulacrum, a world of cheap tricks and mimicry. Where am I? Could this possibly be the world I touch? I live on top of history and not in it. All questions have their answers. The simplistic vomit that surrounds me is vile. I would, when in a cruel mood, have them killed. Do they exist? Do they even feel as I feel? They can't. I watch them as I watch a play or read a book. Are they real, or are they designed by some mediocre writer? Where is she? I must eat of that hollow fruit. I put on a human mask and beg for your acceptance and your sound unanimous rejection. Will I change human nature? No. But I am not special. Who does not feel alienated? You are my brother and my enemy. I must fight you in myself. Within the flesh of man there is a fervent desire to be a slave, to be at peace with the one who will take the burden of decision. Cringing smiles and vacant laments. All of history distilled into one shout. Shut the fuck up and say what I say. Look at me. I'm an imp. I'm a fool. Laugh at me. Laugh at my grotesque form and at my degradation. Watch my buffoonery and be merry. No more yielding but a dream.
And I had him in a headlock and I was trying to calm him, but
He fought back harder?
he really did believe that I had hurt him. There must have been a buildup of emotion and then a snap. I'm happy.
Nothing more?
I don't want to ruin the moment with speech.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking how versatile the word God is.
Oh,
God can be used to explain all the things we normally think of, but he's also used to explain randomness. Why is a brother taller? God. Why was I born at this time in this body? God. What are you thinking?
I love your eyes. And your nose.
My nose?
It's a nice nose. A quiet kind of nose.
Do you want it?
I can have it?
Yeah, I'll be borrowing it for hopefully another 30 years, but it's yours.
How thoughtful.
So, what do you think about God and randomness?
Sounds interesting.
If it sounds interesting, then you must have some thoughts on it.
Not really.
The truth that is sayable is not the whole truth. Non-fiction can only hope to show one piece, and constantly contradicting fiction can show a few more. Relationships must consist of trade-offs. Ardent yelling, yes, but more quiet compromise. This girl will not cure all my faults. I must change myself, and change deferred is change never broached. I cannot wait for the perfect woman. I would die alone. And I'm more afraid of being alone than being with the wrong person. I will marry Melina. She's not perfect, but I will not find someone better. I will love her because she is kind and gentle and beautiful. She does not need to share my obsessions. I'll talk to her about the weather or we'll drink and laugh at fools. My thoughts will be for me, and I'll live alone, inside myself.